Oh my, the way the cost of dental work keeps going up. Oh, good evening. Welcome to Creepy Cheapies with Dr. Lady. Once again, I am Hubert Pocock. And, well, let me start off by saying, and now for something completely different, because every week you come here to the library at Horror Hotel and we discuss a latex mask of some sort, but tonight I have something else I wanted to bring to your attention, because it is worthy of your attention and it may have escaped your attention, you see. So, what am I talking about? It's a DVD called Dr. Shocker's Vault of Horror. That's right, Dr. Shocker's Vault of Horror. Now this is a little project that came along in, well, it was put together in 2013 by Monsters and released in the 2013-2014, somewhere in that period of Earth history. And, well, let me back up a little and say that a copy of this was given to me by a guy named Daniel Roebuck. Now, Daniel Roebuck looks a little bit like Dr. Shocker, who presents this video, but not as talented. Not as clever, really, but they do look a little bit of a similarity between them, a little bit of a physical resemblance. Dr. Shocker will not be happy with me for saying that. Maybe I should edit that out. Well, we'll worry about that another time. For the time being, let's get back to the project here. Why do I bring this to your attention? Well, in the first place, this is kind of a gold mine of cool little video goodies and monster-related stuff. But the main body of it, the heart, the nerve center, the nexus, the throbbing, pulsating, blood-pumping brain of the Dr. Shocker's Vault of Horror project is a 45-minute documentary about monster maniacs, which is to say people who collect monsters and grew up loving monsters and collecting masks and toys and movie paraphernalia and spooky things. All right, so if you're one of those people, you will like this. And I'm not a big documentary watcher and I'm not a big television watcher because so much of what I see, I don't care for the style of it. It always seems very condescending to me, very smug, like it's kind of talking down to the viewer. A lot of things just seem poorly edited and like they're put together hastily and without good craftsmanship to make a quick buck. And they just kind of insult my intelligence. But this is kind of the opposite of that. This is something put together with such love and intelligence, and you can tell the people who put this together really cared about what they were doing and really thought about what they were doing. It was edited by a guy named David, let me make sure I'm getting this right, edited by David Hansen Sturm. David Hansen Sturm. Now, I don't know who old handsome David Sturm is, but I would shake his hand and I would give him an award, actually. If I were giving Monster Video Awards, the editing in the documentary is absolutely amazing. It is so perfectly timed and perfectly cut and intelligently paced, and it clips right along at such a good pace. Every cut is perfect, and that's not something I know you really think about. Oh, editing, that's what I want to see. I know that's not what you're thinking. I'm just saying, you don't get bored with this. You don't feel like, hey, it's a documentary, somebody killed me. You don't feel like that. You feel like, oh my gosh, this is so much fun. Because it's not like the dumbness of typical modern television production talking about it. It's like talking about monsters with your friends. Not even your goofy drunk friends, but like your most smart, most intelligent, coolest friends that you have. If you have friends. And if you're a monster collector, I realize that may be iffy, but I apologize too because I meant to bring this to your attention months ago. Why didn't I? Well, it wasn't in my home a lot of times since I've owned it. You see, originally Daniel Roebuck gave it to me at a convention, and well, it ended up on a stack of DVDs in front of my TV set. And if you've ever been here to visit my place, you know I'm serious when I say there's always a big stack of DVDs by my TV, and other people had sent me things and given me things, and there were like 3 rows deep stacked by the TV of things to watch, and this just ended up in the stack. And some weeks went by and I just didn't watch it because I suck as a friend, basically. Eventually I spoke to that Roebuck fellow again, and he said, David, did you watch the DVD? And being a very clever person, I said, what? And he said, the Dr. Shocker's Vault of Horror. Did you watch it? What did you think? Did you like it? and I hadn't watched it at that time, and I had to come clean and tell him, it's still on my stack of stuff to watch, I'm sorry. And he said something to the effect of, for God's sake, David, you're in it. And I said, well, I'm in it? I'm on the DVD? Well, this changes everything. So then, of course, I had to dig it out and watch it with all due haste. And Daniel Roebuck said, yes, of course you're in it. He said, why do you think I interviewed you with TV cameras at a convention a while back? And I was kind of like, it just kind of slipped my mind. I had forgotten we ever did any such thing, even though it had only been a short time. But anyway, don't worry about the part with me. It's very brief. You can easily skip over it or mute it during that part. Considering how I look on it, I would probably mute the picture given the opportunity. But anyway, I'm only on it for like 15 seconds or something as one of the guys being interviewed at a convention. There are much more interesting people than me, including Guillermo del Toro, of all people, who is one of the coolest guys out there. He shows up to talk a little about his history with his love of monsters. And here's the great thing about it. Now, I mentioned it's fun, it's well edited. The whole project is really done with love and great professionalism, I might point out. It's not an amateur, homemade, hokey thing. It's a very professionally done video, but with a better, more fun, more hip attitude than sometimes one sees on the television, you see? And another thing about it is if you have a person in your life, if you're a monster collector and you have a person in your life who maybe doesn't quite understand that, maybe it's a wife, a girlfriend, a boyfriend, a parent or legal guardian, a caseworker or parole officer or psychiatrist or whatever you have, who looks at you and thinks, God, you're weird. Why monsters of all things? If you have that person in your life, then you really need a copy of this. You need to show it to that person, and they will come a little closer to understanding you, because this kind of makes sense of it. And I'm going to be honest here, if you're a fanatical monster and horror nut to the extent that I am, nobody's ever really going to get you, not 100%. They may get you with a chainsaw or a pickaxe or something, but they're not really going to get you in an intellectual way. But this, I think, promotes understanding of those of us who are thus afflicted, the horror fanatics and monster lovers out there. I think this helps explain it a little bit to people. As a matter of fact, you might even get yourself a little better after you've watched the amazing Dr. Shocker's World of Horror. And other great things on here. There's a look at the Captain Company, the company that used to sell monster stuff in the back of Famous Monsters magazine and corrupted an entire generation of us into wanting, you know, monster toys and action figures and jigsaw puzzles and masks and so forth. There's Don Post masks covered. Imagineering, a company that, well, either you've heard of them or you haven't. If you have, you're going, oh, Imagineering, I remember that stuff. If you haven't, you're like, eh. But it's still fun. It's so well done. Beautifully put together, and again, the editing is amazing. And if you collect monsters and monster stuff, you really need a copy of this to go with your collection. It's not a mask. And let me see if it is. Let me make sure it's not. No, I can't actually see through it, so if it is a mask, it's not a trimmed one. So no, I don't think it is a mask, but it does come with 3D glasses, and you can never have too many of those around the house, right? Ha! I sometimes wear them for no reason at all when I go out shopping. It does come with 3D glasses, it's true. It's true. It's a great thing. It's so full of coolness, and though it's not a mask, it is sort of a complement to your collection. It works with your collection because even though it's not specifically about masks, it does cover masks, but it also it encapsulates the entire body of monster collecting and tries to make some sense of it. And there's a short film on here that I love called, I think it's How My Dad Killed Dracula. The How My Dad Killed Dracula is a short film, and it's gloriously good. It's funny and creepy, and it's so much fun. And well, I've seen Dan Roebuck in a lot of stuff over the years. It might be my favorite thing that he's ever done. It might be his best as far as I'm concerned. He's wonderful in it, and you will enjoy it. And this isn't just me going, oh, it's my friend made it and I'm obligated to tell you. That is not, because Dr. Lady don't roll that way. You know that. Because really, I'm kind of a mean jerk when you really get to know me. You see? So when I'm endorsing something, I'm telling you this is a great thing and you will love this. And I really should have reviewed it and brought it to your attention months ago. And after I watched it, I still didn't review it right after that because it wasn't in my home. Because I was so eager to share it with people that, well, I lent it to a friend and then he kept it longer than you would think would be necessary. And then as soon as I got it back, I lent it to another friend who was dying to see it. And at some point in there, I lent it to a friend who lent it to another friend. So basically, I lent it to one person after another. And for months, it wasn't in my house at all. It was, you know, being held indefinitely in the homes of the various people to whom I lent it. So I never really gave it up for lost exactly, but you could say I gave it up for Lent. You get it? You see what I did there? You didn't give it up for lost, gave it up for Lent almost, because I lent it. Never mind. We'll fix that in the editing as well, I think. Let's not kid ourselves, shall we? If you want a copy of this wonderful video, and it really is great, and again, my endorsement is totally sincere. I can't imagine anybody watching this and thinking, oh, it wasn't everything it should have been, because it's so jam-packed with fun and coolness, and again, made with love and intelligence. And if you want one, I would direct you to www.docshocker.com. That's DOCSHOCKER.com to purchase one, or I'm sure you can find it online, maybe Amazon, maybe eBay. I'm sure there are places you can find it, but www.docshocker.com. Look for Dr. Shocker's Vault of Horror, and for crying out loud, whatever else you add to your video collection this year, I think no Mask and Monster collection is complete without a copy of this, because it is so exemplary in terms of its monstraciousness. So I'll be back again next week, and next week we'll go back to masks. As I say, I just wanted to bring this to your attention. And having done that, now I'm going to go and hide it in a locked safe somewhere so that humans I know will stop borrowing it from me. Thank you.